Hi, Jabe.
Hey, Katie. Glad to have the opportunity to sit down and do another pastor chat. It's been such a long time since we did one. It's been so long, in fact, that you now have a new last name.
I do.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. You are
Uh,
you are now the Reverend Katie,
Herster.
spelled.
Hoerster. But you say it Herster like the O isn't in there.
Herster.
Herster.
Herster. Well, we as a church have celebrated your nuptials and trust that everything is good in the world of wedlock.
All is well. We feel very celebrated and loved, and it's been a beautiful start to our
Awesome.
marriage. Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank
Awesome.
everybody. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. It's a joy to celebrate uh, the coming together of two people as one. It's for me pastorally, it's the greatest part of what I get to do is preside at weddings like yours.
Yes.
Yeah, it's such an awesome thing. So one of the things that we've done in the past, Reverend Herster, in Pastor Chats, is we've talked about books.
Yes.
And you made mention to me about a book that you had read, and then you let me borrow it. And I really want to talk about it for a minute because I believe that the book, first of all, is very well written, but second of all, it touches on a topic that culturally we might like to shy away from because it does deal with death. But say more about the book.
Sure. The author is a hospice nurse. I actually found out about her book, The In Between, on TikTok. She does skits on TikTok where she kind of reenacts these moments that she talks about in the book and other moments she's had with patients. And the book kind of gets into her journey of belief and her journey as a nurse. Going from very high energy hospital situations where death is traumatic often to these hospice situations where things can still be traumatic, but they are much a slower pace, and she feels as a hospice nurse she can connect with those patients more. What would you say about the book?
Yeah, I think you hit on something there in contrasting the hospital versus the hospice, because in her experience as a hospital nurse in the emergency department, it's always, okay, this traumatic thing happened, on to the next one, and there's really no feeling, there's no connection. Whereas in the hospice environment, she's able to connect with the patients and their families and build relationships, and it's just a much more personable and peaceful type of way to deal with the inevitable reality of death. And yeah, it's a great book, and hospice is such a gift, especially when it's done well, and the way she does it as well. I would also mention that it is a New York Times bestseller.
It is.
Yeah, it's been in the top 10 for quite some time now. But each chapter is a different story of a different patient and her relationship with the patient, and I highly recommend it. I'm so grateful that Pastor Katie let me borrow it. Anytime you read books like this one that deal so heavily with death, it can be tough. It's going to make you wrestle with some things that you don't want to wrestle with, especially depending on what season of life you're in or what season of life people that you love are in. It can hit really close to home, but we shouldn't shy away from it. And another thing I think is that through her storytelling, we see a lot of beauty.
Yes, absolutely. Another beautiful thing I would note that she's done, apart from sharing all these stories through her book, is she's now founded a nonprofit she's calling Hadley House. The author's first name is Hadley. And it's a place where hospice patients and their families can go for respite, because so often in the world of hospice there's respite care for patients, but family members aren't allowed to stay there with them. So her Hadley House will be a place where patient and family can be taken care of by someone else and have that rest and relaxation and rejuvenation, because caregiving can take such a toll on family members.
Absolutely, and that idea is brilliant, and it is a needed thing, because, like I said, hospice is such a gift, and such a necessary thing in the time that we find ourselves living in, where we're not as close to large families that could come in and caretake for someone in their final days. Something like hospice is more intimate. It's just it's a way in which people can die well.
Yes.
And to have this innovation where caretakers have respite as well is something that I hope we see more and more of across the country in the years to come. So it's good. It's real good.
It's such a blessing.
Yeah. The in-between. Check it out if you haven't already. Again, it may be a hard read, but it's a good read, and it's a topic that we cannot shy away from, because it's a reality. It's going to happen. So let's talk about a few church things.
Yes.
So we recently talked about in Pastor's Bible Study the concept of blessing, because we were talking about Jacob and Esau, and the way that blessing was done there. And we have a lot of blessing getting ready to happen. We have a back to school blessing, and then a critter blessing.
Yes.
Yeah. Why does blessing matter?
I think blessing matters because it's a way that we recognize the gifts God has given us. And, when God blesses Abraham, we talked about Abraham in Bible study before we got to Jacob and Esau. And Abraham says he's blessed to be a blessing, or God tells Abraham he's blessed to be a blessing. That's the same for us. We're very blessed here as individuals and as a church family, as a community. And we are blessed so that we can keep pouring that out to other people.
Absolutely.
Blessing our backpacks, I think, gives some extra spiritual oomph to the start of a school year. Blessing our critters recognizes, we're all God's creation and we love our furry friends.
Yeah.
The Hursters are adding a critter to their family this weekend. We'll have our new puppy at the blessing of the critters.
Yeah, awesome. And I also heard we're going to have some piglets, or at least one piglet at the blessing of the critters.
Wonderful.
So that'd be awesome. I agree 100% with everything that you said, and I think it's so important for the children in the back to school blessing, with or without your backpack, but it'd be cool if you brought your backpack, just to start the school year off right. And
to know that God cares about every part of your life and wants to bless every part of it. It's not just where you are on Sunday.
Not only God, but the church, that you have this community of support that wants you to succeed and have a good year. And thinking of the church too in a way that it's not just about your spiritual growth and development, but other areas as well. Your education, like we care about your education, like we care about your spirituality, and how connected we are as humans. But then we also connect it with our critters. And kind of like you said, they are created by God, and they are a blessing and a gift to us. And 3 of my critters will be here, and Lord knows they need a blessing. An extra measure, or as some people have pointed out in the past, I have one especially that may need an exorcism more than a blessing. But so that's September 23rd for the critters, and then August 27th for the blessing of the backpacks and all 3 services. So even if you are not one of those who are being blessed on one of those 2 days, we encourage you to come out and be supportive in the blessing of others. It's a good thing to be in a position where we can bless things,
Absolutely.
As blessed people and as a blessed church. It's good. Final thing we talk about is something that I'm really excited about.
I am too.
Yeah, so our gratitude feast.
Yes.
We announced Sunday with some of our other community engagement opportunities, the gratitude feast. So give us a quick rundown of what that is.
The Gratitude Feast is a luncheon, an elevated luncheon experience. We'll have music, valet parking, delicious food served to you. And we are hoping with this event that we'll celebrate about 80 people who are the folks either in the church or in the community. We want to extend it to the community as well. Of those who've been married for at least
those who are being blessed on those 2 days, we encourage you to come out and be supportive in the blessing of others. It's a good thing to be in a position where we can bless things,
absolutely
as blessed people and as a blessed church. It's good. Final thing we talk about is something that I'm really excited about.
I am too.
Yeah, so our gratitude feast.
Yes.
We announced Sunday with some of our other community engagement opportunities, the gratitude feast. So give us a quick rundown of what that is.
The Gratitude Feast is a luncheon, an elevated luncheon experience. We'll have music, valet parking, delicious food served to you. And we are hoping with this event that we'll celebrate about 80 people who are the folks either in the church or in the community. We want to extend it to the community as well. Of those who've been married for at least 50 years or who are at least 80 years old. We want to celebrate folks who may not always get to experience such a fun, high-class celebration. And it's going to be lots of fun. We'll certainly need lots of help, and we also need help inviting folks to be honored.
Yeah, live music, valet parking, like Katie said. We're going all out with this thing. It's not your typical church luncheon. This is meant to be an upscale dining experience that would be similar to what you would experience at like a gala, something along those lines. And so spots are filling up. We've had a pretty good response thus far, just with the announcement from the pulpit and through social media. And so don't hesitate. Go ahead and get signed up. Tell your friends. Bring a friend. Bring a couple of friends. We want you to be here and to be celebrated. It's going to be a really cool event that we hope carries on into the future, where we celebrate other groups as well, not just our 50-80 group, but other people in the community who are worthy of being celebrated. So really excited about this. This is something that I think fits us well here at Pinehurst United Methodist Church. We actually received a grant from the North Carolina Conference of the United Methodist Church to put on this event. So we're getting some of our rewards of being a connectional church in funding this event. So really excited and hope that those of you who qualify come out, and those of you who are not in that age range or in terms of your years wed, if you're not in either one of those groups, you can still very much be a part. We still have the sign-up sheets to volunteer to be a part of it. Yeah.
And the feast is on October 21st. But part of this elevated experience is that we'll be sending out save the dates and invitations in the mail. And those are going out soon, before the end of this month. So Pastor Jabe is serious when he says, please sign your participants up as soon as possible, because we want to be able to extend a formal invitation to them through the mail. So
August 24th would be the ideal date for you to let us know that you're wanting to come, so we can get those save the dates out. And it would help us tremendously in our planning if we stick to our deadlines, because it is going to be a rather large event and a lot is going into it. We have a community engagement team that's meeting every 3 weeks and pouring a lot of time and energy into this to make it as special as we intend. We're working hard. So get signed up. We want to see you.
Yep. Food, centerpieces, gift bags. You want to be a part of this. So.
That's right. I forgot about the gift bags. Yeah. So
we need to know.
Not only do you get a really good meal and time of fellowship and entertainment, but you get something to take home with you too. So it's going to be good.
Yep. Really fun.
Everything that we do here at Pinehurst United Methodist Church is at a high level of quality, and the Gratitude Feast will be no different.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. We are blessed here.
We are.
We are blessed to be a blessing.
Blessed to be a blessing.
All right. We're going to keep doing that. Take care, everybody. See you soon.